way back to get my phone shot. We are going back to the same place that we went to yesterday, except we're gonna try to go on one of those hiking trails and not just to the dog park part. Jules, are you ready to go to the dog park? You can go to the dog park? Jules, go to the dog park?
Jules.
Having a meltdown over there. It is day 210, and we're looking at Jeremiah 10 through 13. Jules will not be going on the hike with us, after all. We're a little lost. Don't worry though, we'll find our way. Just looking at some model homes in Crystal Valley. Don't worry, don't get any ideas. We're not looking to, we can't, I'm a pastor, I can't do this. So while I was in Bible college, I wrote a total of 8 exegetical papers, which essentially an exegetical paper is you write a paper over a passage and you essentially study that passage like as much as you can and try to pull out the purpose or the meaning of that passage in a very exhaustive method. I have 6 of them in this binder, but the one I was looking for is not in here, so I don't know where my exegetical paper is that I wrote over Jeremiah chapter 13, verses 1 through 11. There's a lot of really good stuff happening in all 4 of these chapters, and I was getting a little overwhelmed in terms of what we could focus on today, but I thought we would discuss briefly those 11 verses in chapter 13, simply because I wrote that paper on it, and I remember the Lord using that process, that exegetical process of really studying this passage to really impact my life in a significant way. In this section, we see God telling Jeremiah to take a loincloth and to wrap it around his waist, and he does so. And then the word of the Lord comes a second time to Jeremiah, and he tells him to take that same loincloth and to go to the Euphrates, the river Euphrates, and to bury it. After many days, then we see God telling Jeremiah to go back to the Euphrates and to uncover that loincloth to check its condition, in which he finds that it was useless. It was just beat up and it had deteriorated over that time. And the reason why God tells Jeremiah to do this was to give the people kind of like an object lesson of, well, really more of an object prophecy, if you will, of how it is that they have treated God, that when the loincloth is wrapped around the person and abiding on the person and being used by the person, it won't spoil, it won't deteriorate. But if it's taken off of that person and it's just hidden somewhere and it's not used, it'll quickly spoil and it will quickly deteriorate. And that's what God is saying to his people here, that because you haven't been abiding in me and because you haven't allowed me to use you, which, is your ultimate purpose, that you're going to be spoiled. That and not like they're going to get a lot of stuff and they're going to be like these pouty kids, but they're going to deteriorate as a people over time because they're not abiding in the presence of God and they're not being used by the Lord. And I think there's a huge lesson for us in that if we don't practice the act of abiding in the presence of God and using the gifts and the talents that God has given to us to further his kingdom and to make disciples and to share the gospel with people, we will, more quickly than we might realize, will deteriorate spiritually. Because of that, I think just two things for today. Abide in the Lord. And I don't mean just get away in a quiet place and pray and read your Bible. While we should do that, but as you're driving, as you're working, as you're in school, as you are with your friends, as you're with your family, take every single moment and ask yourself, how is it that I can be intimate with the Lord in this moment? And how is it that I can bring glory to his name? And then ask yourself, Lord, what is something that you've gifted me in? What is some talents that you have given me? And how can I use those to bring glory to your name?